Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from Greedy Tech, and in this video I'm going to be doing the unboxing and a quick hands-on review of the OPPO F9 Pro. Now this phone is a successor to the OPPO F7 and in a way it brings a lot of new things like the dual camera setup, walk charging, better display, but it has to compete against phones like POCO F1 and Huawei Nova 3i, which are offering better performance or better cameras or better software features altogether. So let's unbox this phone and see what it packs and how it competes against all those phones. So guys, this is the box. On the front we have a quick preview of how the phone looks with the new water drop design. It also says F9 Pro. Over here we have the storage information like 6GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. And at the top we have the OPPO branding like always. Now on both sides it just says OPPO. At the top we have a sticker from Flipkart. And at the bottom we have the pricing and shipment information. On the back we have the highlighting features like the walk charging, dual cameras, AI selfie, and most importantly the water drop design display. Now at the bottom over here we have other specifications, IMEI number, and even the SAR value. Now this is the SAR value for this phone. Now let's get on with the unboxing. Now OPPO has launched this phone only in one variant with 6GB of RAM and 64GB of storage at 24,000 rupees. You can buy it both online and offline, and currently there are a lot of cashback offers going on. Now this phone is available in three colors: Sunrise Red, Twilight Blue, and Starry Purple. We have the blue color with us right now. So guys, at the top we have a small cover. Inside we probably have a case and some documentation. Let me just open it up. So here we go. These are some documentation, and this is a soft silicone case. We'll come back to it in a minute. Next we have the phone itself. Let me come back to it in a minute. Next we have a walk charger with a maximum output of 20 watts, just like dash charging on the OnePlus phones. Next we have the regular micro USB charging cable. It's not a Type-C, still micro USB. And finally we have the earphones. So these are the old style earphones that we get inside the box. By the way, we also get a SIM card ejector in this case. Now this is the phone. And this is how it looks like once we remove all the stickers. So this is the starry blue color and it really has a nice blue hue to it. Looks pretty unique and definitely very premium. Now this is the free case that we got inside the box, and let me just put it on. It's kinda hard. So guys, this is how the phone looks with the case on. It has all the cutouts for the camera module, fingerprint scanner, ports at the bottom, and it has a raised lip for the display, camera module, and even for the fingerprint scanner. Now even the camera module and the display are very well protected. You can literally keep your phone directly on its face and it shouldn't scratch the display. By the way, just like all the previous OPPO phones, we get a free tempered glass pre-applied, so that's a pretty nice touch. Now interestingly, at the bottom we have this flap for the charging port, which is supposed to keep it slightly waterproof. It definitely helps a little, but it comes in the way every time you want to charge your phone. So this is how the phone looks with the case. Now let's have a quick physical overview and then check out the specs. Now just like the previous OPPO F7, even this OPPO F9 Pro comes with a glass back. It's probably some plastic glass with a super glossy finish and this super cool looking hue. This hue changes from black to blue, and you also get this diamond patterns when you look at an angle. On the whole, it looks pretty cool and very unique from all the phones in this price segment. Now coming to the cameras, on the rear it sports a dual camera setup with a 16 megapixel primary camera with f1.8 aperture, followed by a 2 megapixel secondary camera with f2.4 aperture. Now that's followed by a dual LED flash, fingerprint scanner, and OPPO branding. Now on the front it is a massive 6.3-inch LTPS TFT display with Full HD Plus resolution in the new 19.5:9 aspect ratio. It also has this new bezel-less design with a water drop effect, which gives it a 90.8% screen to body ratio. That is a lot of screen real estate. Now inside that water drop design, it has a 25 megapixel front facing camera with f2.0 aperture, some sensors, and an earpiece. At the bottom it is completely plain and has a very small bezel. Now it also comes with a 2.5D curved glass for protection and a free tempered glass pre-applied. So at least right out of the box, you don't have to worry about tempered glass for this phone. Now coming to the sides, on the right side we have just the power button. At the top we have the secondary microphone, which OPPO calls a smart mic. At the bottom we have the 3.5mm audio jack, primary microphone, micro USB charging port, and a single speaker grill. On the left side it has the volume buttons, followed by the SIM card tray made of plastic, which houses 2 nano SIM slots and a dedicated SD card slot. Now these buttons seems to be made of plastic, but they have a nice clicky feel to them. I wish they were slightly more elevated. Now coming to the rest of the specs, this phone sports a MediaTek Helio P60 processor with Mali G72MP3 GPU with 6GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. Now this is the same processor seen in Realme 1 and OPPO F7. So in terms of performance, it is the same as OPPO F7 and Realme 1. Now coming to the software section, this phone is running a skinned version of Android called ColorOS 5.2 based on Android 8.1 Oreo. And finally, this phone has a 3500 mAh battery, supports OPPO's very own walk charging, which is supposed to charge your phone completely in less than 1 hour. Now with all this, phone has a thickness of 7.99 mm and weighs 169 grams. That makes it slightly more heavier than the OPPO F7. So guys, that was the physical overview and specifications. Now let me turn on the phone and see what we get right out of the box. Now this is the starting home screen. It's by default set to English, but we also have other Indian languages including Telugu and Hindi. So you can select other regional Indian languages as well. I'll just go with English. Next I'll be connecting to the Wi-Fi. As you can see, this phone is using a dedicated keyboard for secure logins. Like every time you enter a password, this phone will use another keyboard apart from your default keyboard, which is supposed to be more secure. That's a pretty nice touch, but most of the time I like to use my default keyboard. So guys, this is how the phone looks once we turn it on. I've already signed into my Google account, so the phone is trying to install applications from my previous phone. So I'm just gonna let it be. So out of that 6GB of RAM, we get about 4GB of free RAM right out of the box. Now let's check the storage. Let's go to settings. Now out of that 64GB of storage, we get about 48GB of free space for our user apps and user data. That's definitely more than sufficient, as this phone also comes with a dedicated SD card slot. Now this is the about page, and this phone is running ColorOS version 5.2 based on Android 8.1 Oreo, and this phone has the latest July security patch. It might get the August security patch in few days. Now this phone has already got a new update to improve the cameras, fingerprint scanner and the stability of the phone. I'll just set it to download. Now this is the default launcher we get right out of the box, and on the leftmost side we have the Smart Assistant, where we have different widgets for weather, step count and some quick shortcuts to applications that you use frequently. Now right out of the box we have a new feature called Sidebar, which you can access by swiping from the right side corner. So this is the swipe bar, and we have some quick shortcuts, toggle for taking screenshot and screen recording, and the camera application at the top. You can long press them to edit them and add new applications to the list. It's a new feature for OPPO, but not that impressive. Now this is the interface for the rear camera, and we have this button over here for Google Lens. Once you enable Google Lens, you can simply point at different objects to search for that object on the web. You can get product links as well. Next we have this button over here for 1x and 2x zoom. Next we have this button over here or toggle for AI beauty mode. You can select AI for AI beauty mode or select the beauty level manually. I prefer to go with none. Next we have the regular filters. Now at the top we have the toggle for torch, followed by a toggle for HDR mode. It even has auto HDR. Next we have a toggle for super vivid mode, which simply makes the colors pop out a lot. Next we have a toggle for timer. And finally change the aspect ratio. Now you can swipe left or right to change between different modes. We have the portrait mode over here. Now just like the iPhone X, we can change the lighting effects to soft lighting, studio lighting and other lighting conditions to get better portrait shots. Next we have stickers, which simply adds stickers to your faces. Next we have Panorama. Expert is for manual mode. From here we can control the white balance, exposure, ISO, shutter speed and the focus point as well. Now coming to the left side, we have things like video recording, slow motion and time lapse. Now this is the interface for the front facing camera, and this is for the photo. Next we have stickers once again, which simply puts these stickers to your faces. And we even have Panorama for the front camera or wider selfie on Samsung phones. Now coming to video recording, we can change the resolution from over here. We can only record video at a maximum of 1080p. And surprisingly, this phone is offering electronic image stabilization. Here's a quick sample footage. Now these are some pictures taken using the rear camera, without vivid mode and with vivid mode. Now these are some selfies, selfies with vivid mode followed by portrait selfies. Now it's time to test the fingerprint scanner and face unlock feature. Now I've already used this phone for about a few hours, I've already set them up, and this one even got an update. So before the update, fingerprint scanner was slightly slow, but after the update, it kinda improved. Now let me show you how the fingerprint scanner is working. So as you have seen, fingerprint scanner is fast, but sometimes it misses. Maybe it will improve further with a future update. Now let's test the face unlock feature. Now the phone is locked. 3, 2, 1. As you can see, it isn't even showing us the lock screen. It is that fast. I am right now at a very weird angle and it is still able to unlock the phone. That's pretty insane. Next, I'll be turning off all the lights and see if it will work. So right now it's pitch black. There is no light. So let's see. And it still works. Not as fast as OPPO F1, but still pretty good. Now I'm going to close my eyes and see if it will unlock the phone. So even if your eyes are closed, it will unlock the phone. Now let's test the speaker on this phone. So guys, the speaker is sufficiently loud for media consumption, alarms and ringtones. Now while you're using any application in full screen mode, or you're watching video or playing a game, you can swipe from the left side, that's where the notch is, to see the sidebar. Once again, we have the quick shortcut toggles, option to take a screenshot and to record a video as well. Now OPPO is probably the only brand out there that's actually trying to do something with the notch. Now that's interesting, but something better could have been really appreciated. By the way guys, this is the free case that we get inside the box, and with the case on, these buttons are slightly hard to press, especially to lock the phone. So I would recommend you to get a better case as soon as possible. Now coming back to the display, because of this water drop design, this phone has about 90% screen to body ratio. But have you wondered about the light sensor and the proximity sensor? So here's the interesting part. This phone has a proximity sensor somewhere over here. You might be able to see something flickering right now on the camera, somewhere around here. And it has the light sensor right near the camera. And coming to the earpiece, it's right over here. Now unlike other phones which come with a bigger display or with a notch, this phone is actually a step ahead. So guys, now coming to my initial impressions, design and build are really impressive and amazing. But I think this time around, phone is slightly thicker and heavy. Its predecessor OPPO F7 weighs just around 155 grams, while this phone weighs almost about 170 grams. So it's not too heavy, but I wish it was slightly more lighter. Now coming to the form factor, it fits really comfortable in the hand, and for the most part I can actually use it single-handedly. So that's one of the best things of having the new aspect ratio. Now coming to the hardware section, this phone has all the basic sensors including the compass, gyroscope, and literally nothing is missing. And it also comes with a dedicated SD card slot, which is a really nice addition. Now coming to the display, as I've already told you, it looks huge and awesome both at the same time. And unlike Vivo phones, we can actually use split screen mode for all the applications. So you can really take advantage of that huge screen. Now coming to the cameras, they are indeed impressive. You have seen the sample shots, here are some more once again. I didn't compare it with OPPO F1 yet, but selfies and the rear camera portrait shots do look pretty good. Now coming to performance, there simply isn't anything new. This phone supports the same Helio P60 processor seen in the OPPO F7 and Realme 1, and it's a well-tested processor and the performance should be really good. I still haven't tested it though. By the way, these are the Antutu and Geekbench scores. Now coming to the software section, it's running a custom skin called Color OS, and the only thing I hate about this particular OS is we can't swipe away the notifications. You have to do that and click this button, which is really annoying. So except for that little con, I don't have any issues with the software. In fact, I really like it. Definitely more than Vivo's OS. So I don't have any issues. It comes with a lot of cool software features, screen gestures, like raise to wake feature and double tap to wake and stuff. We also get this 3-finger screenshot, which is a nice addition. Now finally, in terms of battery, it has a decently large 3500 mAh battery. And unlike the OPPO F7, it comes with walk charging, and I've just tested it and it can give you 60% of charge in just 30 minutes. It's exactly same as OnePlus dash charging, and it can charge your phone very quickly. So guys, individually, this phone is definitely pretty good. But when it competes against phones like POCO F1 or compete against POCO F1 itself, it is definitely falling short in a lot of areas. Now with that said, if you're looking for a phone to buy in the retail market, like if you want to buy a phone right now without waiting in the line, with smaller bezels and with this new water drop design with good cameras and super fast charging, then you can definitely consider this phone. So guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It really helps the channel. And if you want us to make any specific video, reach out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.